AI is here, and we are going to utilize AI to the benefit of our students, to the benefit of positive education in our school system. And we want to give students directives on AI. And then we want to work with the process of learning from AI.
You're listening to the SmartSocial.com podcast, your trusted source for real-world tactics that keep students safe and help them to shine online. I'm your host, Josh Oakes. Each week, I sit down with K-12 superintendents, district leaders, and community voices who are shaping digital safety. We discuss wins, struggles, and strategies used to guide students so they can be safe and successful online.
Hey, I'm Dennis Willingham. I'm superintendent of the Walker County School System. We are a rural school district located in Northwest Alabama, and we have just under 7,000 students in our schools.
Hey there, my name is Patrick Gann. I am the District Technology Director for the Walker County School System.
Hello and welcome to both of you. It's great to have both of you here today. I'm excited to dive into get some tips from you on safety, on what's going on in your neck of the woods in the country, and also ways that parents can engage with their kids to make sure we keep the kids safe. So it's great to have both of you here. As our audience knows, we have about 240 conversations with district leaders in 43 plus states. We've heard some consistent trends. I'd love to get your feedback here for both Patrick and Dennis. The challenges we're hearing in 25-26 from our superintendent partners and friends are hidden direct messages that kids are doing online, dangerous TikTok challenges, group text messages, students are chatting with AI or unknown people, there's inappropriate content off campus and on campus, and there's screen time and phone addiction that we're hearing a lot about. Superintendent, I'd like to start with you first. What trends are you seeing or hearing about in your community?
Well, the trends we're hearing mostly involves inappropriate posting, bullying type behavior on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Patrick, love to ask you, out of the 6 that you see on the screen, what trends are you seeing or hearing about?
I'm seeing, like you said, a lot of the inappropriate posting. I'm seeing some hidden direct messages, some social media challenges, those type of things.
Any types of social media challenges that have popped up recently?
Well, we did have a student that was going on to TikTok and was urinating in the restroom on the walls, and also went to one of our athletic facilities and urinated on the turf field there and was posting that. And fortunately, we caught the student. And so that student is paying some consequences now for that behavior.
Last spring, we had a TikTok challenge of, I don't know how you word it, but they were basically going into bathrooms trying to see what they could take off the bathroom wall. And it was a TikTok challenge between different schools.
Yeah, that was called the Devious Licks Challenge, and some people call it the Bathroom Challenge. Yeah, that was a pretty bad one nationwide. I've heard about that. It's devastating sometimes. So, Superintendent, I'd love to hear from you. How do you think a teacher could utilize AI to help tutor their students or help in the classroom?
The message that we've been putting out to our administrators, our teachers, I have superintendent student groups from both my middle schools and my high schools that meet with me every couple of months. And the message has been consistent. We are going to embrace AI in the Walker County school system because AI is here. And we are going to utilize AI to the benefit of our students, to the benefit of positive education in our school system. So we have been providing professional development to our administrators and to our teachers. And, you know, it's kind of funny. One of the fears that the students brought up to me is they said, we don't want AI to take the place of our teachers. We like our teachers. So, you know, I had to talk with them a little bit about that and work through that and let them know that AI indeed was not going to take the place of teachers, but it was going to enhance what our teachers do and enhance that classroom environment for our students. As far as cheating goes and you know, how can we ensure that students aren't cheating using AI? And I think that just comes with a great relationship with that teacher, with some positive conversations, some guidelines put out by the teacher to know that students are going to use AI. We want to guide that, and we want to give students directives on AI, and then we want to work with the process of learning from AI. One way that teachers can ensure that students aren't cheating is to pull out a piece of paper and a pencil like we used to do in the good old days, and have assessments right there in the classroom with paper and pencil. And once again, we can use AI for enrichment and to enhance the learning that goes along with that.
So true. Patrick, I want to ask you the same question. How do you think a teacher can utilize AI to help tutor their students or help in the classroom?
So I did a little PD session with some teachers the other day, and I was a history teacher at one time before I went to the central office and got into technology. And so you could upload a large document. Like the example I had was the Cuban Missile Crisis. And you can this was a 12-page document from Time Magazine, and scanned it, uploaded, and then Notebook LM, that's a product of Google Gemini, it can chunk that text for the students and break it down. And then also the teacher can use it to make questions to do guided reading for the students. So, the teachers can use it for differentiation and to level down to the kids their reading in the content area needs. There's a text summarizer feature in Gemini, and also we use Magic School AI that will summarize the text for the kids.
Yeah, that's terrific. My next question for you is, in conversations with your staff superintendent, what do you hear them say is the hardest to keep up with? Is it social media shifts, AI, or student screen time habits?
Well, I would certainly say in our school district in the state of Alabama also it would be social media shifts and AI, because our legislature did pass a law this past spring. It's called the Focus Act, and students are not to have any devices out, communication devices out during the school day. So that has really helped with student screen habits during the school day. Now, what they do with their phones and their tablets at home, that's on their dime. But we've heard tremendous feedback from not only teachers and students, but also from parents and stakeholders about the new Focus Act and how that has really helped with students being glued to their phones.
So interesting. Patrick, I'd love to get your feedback on this. What do you hear them say is the hardest to keep up with? Social media, AI, or student screen time habits?
I think the social media shift, and I also think the AI, because there's always something new coming out with AI. There's a new product, there's a new feature. It's just they're trying to find the groove of what to use. And that's what we're trying to do, is offer them PD on what to use and what they can have available to use.
Yeah. So well said. Okay. The next question I have is, superintendent, we often hear principals say they feel pulled in so many different directions when it comes to digital safety and engagement. How can parents better partner with school staff to support students around screen time and social media safety?
We know that we can control what happens during the school day. What administrators worry about and educators worry about is what happens when students are not in school. So we do try to educate our parents. I know that we send a newsletter out each month from our mental health therapists and from our counselors that talk about healthy habits. And that deals with social interactions, social media use, and proper etiquette for social media use. And so, we do try to coach our parents along to encourage them to pay attention to their kids, build positive relationships with their kids, know what your kids are doing as much as you possibly can with their devices, with their cell phones and with their tablets. We are seeing some better results now that we don't have to deal with cell phones inside the school walls, and we're hoping that will continue as students go home in the evenings and also on the weekends.
Patrick, I'd love to get your feedback. How can parents better partner with schools to support students around screen time, social media safety, and so much more?
So a lot of it to me, and I'll reiterate what Dr. Willingham said, is during the school day, of course, they have Chromebooks and school-provided devices, but with our filtering system, we have all the social media blocked, so they can't get to it unless they have a cell phone or a separate connection, which now that the Focus Act has come into being, they can't have their cell phones out from 8 to 3. So the biggest thing that we're trying to do, I know a couple of schools last year had speakers come in during what we call their enrichment period. So like a 20-minute block where they do counseling and other things. They had speakers come in, police officers, people that deal with crimes on social media. And they also had after-school sessions for parents to educate parents on what are the trends that kids are doing that you may not know about, what the parent needs to watch for, the signs. And so a lot of our schools are doing those type of meetings with after school with parents to provide that education piece.
Yeah, really well said. To all of our audience, you know that we host parent evening events all the time nationwide, really every week. And last week, this is one of the biggest questions we got. I want to bring it up here and give an answer. Parents, we heard from parents last week and they said, Josh, what advice would you give a student to help them recognize some of the red flags of a dangerous stranger? Let's hear from a real student in our program about how she might help a friend recognize these red flags.
If I had a friend talking online to a stranger, I think that I would feel a little bit uncomfortable with the whole situation. I would advise against it because so many indirect issues can come from that, and it could cause something to be worse than if they had just unadded them in the first place. Some red flags that I would have to advise them to cut it off with this person or to stop engaging would be if the person starts to get very involved in their personal life and they seem to be very intrigued in what's going on with them and wanting to know all little details about what they do and who they are, and just very personal details and things that you wouldn't normally share with a stranger in real life. If they're very persistent and constantly wanting to talk to my friend or constantly trying to be involved in their life or wanting to speak to them, I feel like that's kind of a red flag. Another thing would be if they ask them to ever meet them anywhere in person right from the start, if they feel a sense of being uncomfortable or their intuition is just saying it's wrong, or if my intuition is saying something feels wrong with this, then I think that's a major red flag.
Parents, remember, we host free weekly live parent events and replays in the evening. We hope you'll join one of them. We do giveaways. Just for attending, you enter for a chance to win a Kindle, a 3D printer, a Bluetooth speaker. We have real teens that lead the program and a premium parent newsletter. And parents, remember, whenever you are struggling, Smart Social's here for you. We have the very best parent app guides on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, Netflix, WhatsApp, 450 more, not just in English, but in English, Espanol, Mandarin, and 9 other languages. No one's left behind. Really, this month is big on protecting your child's confidence before screens turn mean. You might think of it as cyberbullying, but we make it more practical and put real teens in the program. The fourth one of the month is always in Espanol. And then next month, don't miss out on our free events, Snapchat and Instagram Teen Risks. We have several live sessions and one in Espanol. And again, we're excited to have you come out. These are complimentary. Go to smartsocial.com to learn more. Okay, superintendent, some districts have said that they wish they had more time to focus on student safety and parent engagement. What area would you tell other districts is the most important part to focus on to support parents?
Yeah, the area that's most important to support parents is just communicating with them and having an open line of communication, not just communicating to them, but allowing them to communicate to you as well, and building those relationships and having teachers to build those relationships with their parents so that they know that we are here. You know, our goal is all the same, and that is to look out for the best interest of our students. So we do want parents to know that we are here to support the students. We are here to protect the students, and we are here to help the students and the families in any way possible.
Yeah, that's great. Patrick, I'd love to get to you. What area would you tell other districts is the most important part to focus on to support parents?
I think just like he said, building those relationships with those parents to where they feel comfortable coming to the school and to those programs that you're offering, and then offering those programs at a time when parents are available. You know, so many of our items are geared for during the school hour. I know we do a parent-teacher night, and we do try to stagger that to where it lasts at least 6 o'clock in the afternoon. But so many parents are too busy working, and they're engaged with other things to support their family to come up to the school. But that relationship piece and trust is the biggest thing.
Okay, the next question I have for the superintendent is, district leaders nationwide tell us that parent engagement helps them get ahead of future student social media problems. What parent or student preventative education would you recommend to other districts to get ahead of these problems before they happen on campus?
What part of the Focus Act in the state of Alabama is for social media awareness to be taught to 8th graders. And I'll let Mr. Gann tell you a little bit more about that piece of the legislation that was passed last spring that is coming into effect this school year.
So we have a class, a module on Schoology. It's a learning management system, and every child that we have in our district before they leave 8th grade has to go through that program, that class. And so that engages the kid on being proactive to avoid some of those issues that come up with inappropriate use of social media, because they may not know, they may not understand what they're putting out there. Is once it's out there, you know. And then, you know, we do have those things that we try to offer after school for parents to be engaged in, because, now that the Focus Act is in place, a lot of those behaviors we're starting to see are happening after school hours when they're at home on their own device. So a lot of that, to me, is the parent needs to be more involved in their child's screen time and the different apps or programs that they're engaging in, like Roblox, Fortnite. They need to be more aware of who they're communicating with when they're playing those games and what they're posting. So that's how we handle that.
Yeah, well said. Gentlemen, thank you so much. You've taken a lot of time out of your busy day, and I want to thank both of you for coming out here today and sharing your expertise.
Yes, thank you, Josh. We've enjoyed it. Yep.
Thank you so much. To all of our audience members, remember, it's all about keeping your kids safe online so they can someday be successful and shine online. We do recommend that we agree with other countries. Waiting until the age of 16 to allow your kids to have social media is probably a better bet. The longer you wait, the more they might dislike you a little bit in the beginning, but in the long run, they might thank you when they're older and they're adults. Parents, also another pro tip, remember when you're posting online to keep it light, bright, and polite, because your kids are modeling what you do online. I'm Josh Oakes, the founder of smartsocial.com. I hope you parents will join us at our next free parent evening event where you can learn all these topics and a whole lot more and learn from teens. We'll see all of you on the next episode. Have a great rest of the day, everyone. Thanks for spending time with the smartsocial.com podcast. If today's insights were useful, please share the episode with a fellow parent or educator and subscribe so you never miss our next conversation. And parents, make sure to join one of our next live online events each week to keep your family safe and also enter for a chance to win cool prizes. You can learn more at smartsocial.com. I'm your host, Josh Oakes, and parents, remember to keep it light, bright, and polite because your kids are watching what you're doing online. I'll see you on the next episode.